Can you hear me okay?
We can, Steve-o.
Yeah, we've got you, Steve. We're discussing England and World Cups and players that you'd want in it. What's your take?
The reason I'm ringing in, I was actually at Wembley in 1966.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So that was my summer holiday. Just going on from that, I had tickets for every game at Wembley, plus a couple of, including the final, and a couple, I think, at White City. I think it was 8 or 10 tickets. Do you know how much that cost me?
Let me have a... I mean, so this was before it was decimalised, right? So it's like 4 and 6 and all that sort of stuff. Can you do pound notes to make it easier for us?
In today's money...
All right. Let me have a guess.
Correctly, it was £12.
I was going to say
8 or 10 tickets, including the final.
£12 for 10 tickets. Imagine you stick them on eBay back then.
Well, so they're not actually worth anything, really. But coming back to the actual question we're talking about, that I don't agree with, as being an Arsenal supporter, I don't agree with Tottenham supporters very often. But in this case, I have to agree with him because, first of all, I'd love to see England win the World Cup twice in my lifetime, right? When it comes to Arsenal, well, if we don't win it this year, we've got a very young side, so we could possibly win it the following year. So I would go along with the fact of I'll go with England over Arsenal in this particular year. When we come to actual best England players, I agree with Gascoigne. I saw Bobby Moore play.
What was he like, Bobby Moore, Steve? Because he wasn't my year. I didn't know really how he's played. I've only seen clips of him, but you've seen him live.
Yeah,
I mean,
and he was one tough player, right? He didn't. You couldn't quite call him a normal hunter type player, but if he went into the tackle, he won a tackle. But when it came to the actual player, I think everybody's overlooking. There's only one player who's ever scored a hat-trick in the World Cup final. So why wouldn't you take that player who is still alive to this day with Jeff Hurst? Why wouldn't you put him in the team for this time, and hopefully he would do it again?
I mean,
it's a good argument. Steve raises the argument of match winners.
Yeah.
Match winners.
What about Jimmy Greaves?
Jimmy Greaves, but in the end of the day, Jeff Hunt took his place in the World Cup that particular year through injury, and then he couldn't get back into the team afterwards.
That's right.
So somebody actually has scored. You can talk about every player since, in 1932 or whatever. Nobody's ever scored a hat-trick in the final. So why wouldn't you actually put that player in your team again?
Steve-o, that's why we open the lines up to get people like you making recommendations we hadn't thought of. So that's exactly why we're here, and that's why you phoned up.
A man that's been and watched a World Cup final.
Yeah.
Of England winning it.
It's pretty impressive.
Doesn't get any better than that.
I can't argue with Steve.
So you can't argue with Steve.
Because Steve-o's been there and seen it.
Exactly. So
I can't argue
you
with
take
him.
it back now?
No, I can't argue with Steve. I'll argue with you. Can't argue with Steve-o.
The Sports Bar with Jamie O'Hara and Jason Cundy. Monday to Thursday nights from 10 on AM, on DAB, via the talkSPORT app and on your smart speaker. talkSPORT.